Hello, class. Wanted to go over a few things about writing a research paper. Based off of assignment one, it looks like the class in general needs some help with how to create a proper research paper, how to format it, and how to use Microsoft Word to best do that. I am going to be using Microsoft Word 2013 today. All of these features are in the past version of Microsoft Word, Microsoft Word 2010. But I was just going to use an example of a paper that I wrote to show you some of the tools that are available to you in Microsoft Word. First of all, if you're not using Microsoft Word to write your papers, I would highly recommend that you consider doing it. Through Microsoft DreamSpark, that is a website that Microsoft has available out there on the internet. You should be able to download a copy of Microsoft Word if you don't own it. If for some reason you can't, I would recommend purchasing it for the rest of your college career. It's a small investment that will save you a lot of time and a lot of headaches in the future writing papers. The first thing that I want to point out about a properly formatted research paper is use of a cover sheet. Now, in this example I am not using any specific formatting for the cover sheet. I just grabbed one of Microsoft Word's default formats for the cover sheet. For any of my classes, that's fine. A lot of professors just really don't care about what you use as a cover sheet as long as there is a cover sheet. Some of them will require an APA or MLS formatted cover sheet. In those cases, make sure you go out to the internet and research what those cover sheets should look like before you just grab one. But I did use a cover sheet on my assignment. Next thing I want to point out is the use of headers and footers. You do want to make sure that you have your assignment name. This one just happened to be a generic assignment 4, your name, and then on the footer you should have the page number for every paper that you write. It's also a good idea to use some sort of heading in your papers. You'll notice this is a fairly short paper actually. It's only, let's see here, 4 pages long, 5 with the works cited. So, there aren't a whole lot of headings in here, but you do want to try to break up your paper and try to, be concise about what you're writing about when you're writing about it. In assignment 1, I gave you 4 things that I wanted you to write about. And it would have been best had you used headers to segment those 4 things apart. The next thing that I'm going to show you, I can't really show it to you because it doesn't exist in this paper, but use of the first person. If you don't know what I'm talking about here, I highly recommend that you get with the writing lab to talk about it. But you'll notice that in my paper, I never use the word I, we, those sorts of nouns. The reason for that is you should never write a research paper in the first person. You should never say, I am going to do this, or I believe this, or I think this. Anytime you're going to say, I believe, and then state that this is true, just lop off the I believe. Just ignore it. It doesn't need to be there, and it doesn't belong in a research paper. Next thing I want to go over is citations and citation management. You'll notice in my paper, right up here, I have these parentheses and a couple people's names and a date. This is what's called an in-text citation. What I'm saying here when I put in this in-text citation is that what comes before this was taken from this reference material. And if I go down to the works cited, you'll notice that I have that citation noted here. This happens to be the textbook that we were using for this class. These are the author's names, the date it was published, the title, etc. Microsoft Word has a great tool for managing citations and allowing you to put, and making it easy for you to put citations into your paper. And it is this reference manager. You'll notice I have a couple of, right in here, a couple of different tools. It's in the citations and bibliographies. Manage sources is where you can store a list of sources for your paper. I have three. There were three different either books or articles that I used in this paper. It's very easy to add a citation. I just click New. I tell it what type of source I'm citing. It can be, let's say, a journal article. The author, we'll just pretend that I wrote the paper. You can always, if you're having a problem entering the author or there's more than one author, click the Edit button, and we can add another author. Let's say Smith, David, J. Just click Add, and it will automatically add that for you. So now we have a paper with two different authors. Give it a title, what journal it was in, the year it was published, we'll say it was 2012, the number of pages, etc. And I'm just going to click OK. And you'll see that that goes into my list of sources. And that will go onto the bibliography when we put the bibliography in the paper. Now, the way to put an in-text citation using Microsoft Word is extremely easy. All I have to do is click where I want that to go, insert citation, and select my citation, and it will automatically put in a properly formatted citation into my paper. You want to do this anytime you have a paragraph where you're taking the general concept of that paragraph from a source. You want to put an in-text citation. Anytime you're directly quoting a source, you want to make sure that you put an in-text citation after it. Even if you say, according to this article, and then you quote it directly, you want to make sure that you insert an in-text citation directly after that. I currently have my paper set on APA. Typically in college, APA is the standard. Well, I guess I take that back. It depends on the university. Some of them will use MLA, edition, which it's very easy to change your citation from APA to MLA. You'll notice that my in-text citations changed when I did that. So whatever format you are required to use, you can easily put that in there. Once you're done writing your paper, you have all your sources entered into Microsoft Word. You want to create this works cited. Let me go ahead and we're just going to delete. Oops. We're going to delete that just so I can show you how to insert that. On the last page of your paper, you always want to make sure you insert a page break. So if we were done typing, we're going to go to Insert. Oops. Page break so that it adds another page. Then we go back to References, and we want to insert a bibliography. So we're just going to select what type of bibliography we are going to insert. Now, since we're using APA style, typically that's done with a references section. You can also do a works cited. That is, as far as I'm concerned, that's not as important as long as you have it, which exact format you choose. So that will automatically insert our properly formatted references into our paper. From this point forward in the class, you are going to be expected to properly cite works in your paper and use references inside the paper, and make sure that you include cover sheets and everything that we've gone over today. While I understand that a lot of people feel that, well, I'm going to school to be a computer technician, why do I really need to know this? To be honest with you, if you do anything besides just working on a help desk, you're going to have to write papers in a professional environment. And when you write papers in a professional environment, they need to be formatted properly. If they're not going to be well received. Also, if you plan on going on and getting your bachelor's degree, it's been my experience that Ivy Tech professors are a little bit lax on formatting. Most four-year institutions are going to be a lot more harsh on you when it comes to making sure that your papers are properly formatted. So take this as a word of advice from somebody who's been there that you're going to need to know how to do this if you plan on going on and getting a bachelor's degree or even a master's degree. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to post those in the I Need Help forum or email me directly. Thank you.